Hi, my name is Tracy Eliezer, and I'm from Greensboro, North Carolina. And my story, title of it is called I Survived. And what happened to me was that um, when I was from the age of 3 years old to 10, I used to live with my great aunt because my grandmother, she asked my great aunt if anything was happening to her, would she take care of me and raise me? So my great aunt had honored it because my mom was like a teenager. My mom had me when she was like 15 years old. And when my grandmother passed away, my mom was like 19. So my grandmother felt like, my mom would need help, with raising me, and taking care of me. So my great aunt, which was my grandmother's sister, had honored her wish and took me in and raised me up until I was the age of 10 years old. And so, I would go and visit my mom. Sometimes my dad would come and get me and sneak me, take me to go see my mom, visit my mom. Because I always wanted to live with my mom. I never questioned, like why I didn't, live with her and things like that. I was her only child. So I was just, always wanted to be, with my mom. So my great aunt felt like my mom, was okay, with, and able to go ahead and take me at the age of 10. So my great aunt decided to let my mom, you know, my great aunt had decided to allow me to go back, go stay with my mom. So one week with me living with my mom was dating this guy, and I thought he was like real nice. And so one day, my mom had walked to the store, and he called me in the room and was like, Tracy, he's like, well, come in, sit down in the bed. And I was like 10 years old. And I was like, okay, And then he went in his top drawer and poured out his stock with some change in it. And then he tried to offer me change if I would allow him to, touch me. And I was like scared and confused, like, what? I was like, no. So he kept on, kept trying to make advances and passes at me, and I was just, fight him off or whatever. And I told my mom, and he had denied it and said that, it wasn't true. And so, like a lot of nights before I would go to bed, I would just pray because my grandmother had passed away, and my great aunt eventually had passed away too. So I would go in my closet and I would just pray that they would, not let him come into my room, to bother me. And I felt like they were my angels, protecting me. And I would just pray like every night, for, for him not to come in my room. Sometimes it worked and sometimes it didn't. And I would pray my, the normal childhood prayer. Now lay me down to sleep. Praise the Lord, my soul to keep. If I should die before I wake, praise the Lord, my soul to take. And I was also taught, Our Father which art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come and will be done on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread. Forgive our trespasses as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but live from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, the glory forever. Amen. And I would just pray that prayer like every night. I would just praise them, and I would just pray, for them, for nothing to happen to me. So he just continued on, and I used to go to school sleepy because I would be up, at night, trying to, just fight him, off me or whatever, and not allow him to touch me. And the times when I did fight him off, he would wake my mama out of her sleep, and he would beat her. So excuse me, because my mom's birthday was Thursday, because she passed away, so it's still kind of like fresh to me. I talk about it. She passed away in November of breast cancer of 2015. Okay, so he would wake her up out of her sleep. She wouldn't know. He would just beat her, whatever, and stuff. And so by me being up at night, I would go to school tired and sleepy, and I had failed the fourth grade twice, and I had because I was in the fourth grade, and I would be up at night. I had failed, went to summer school, flunked fourth grade again, went back to the fourth grade again, failed again, went to summer school, failed again. Then eventually I finally had passed the fourth grade, and he would just tell my mama lies and stories on me because I would walk to school. Me and some of my friends walked to school. And he would tell my mom that I was out, talking, hanging with little boys and stuff, playing with little boys after school. And I was like, well, I was raised by my great aunt, so I wasn't like, little fancy little girl, And I tell her, Mom's not true. He was always wanting me to be on punishment all the time. Could never go outside. Always wanted me to be in the house. And so one day I was in my closet. One night I was in my closet praying, and I noticed it's like a hole was in the wall, and the hole in the wall was leading to the bathroom. And I was like, wow, I was like, Lord, and I was like, what? This hole is, was in the wall. So when I went in the bathroom, and I noticed it had connected, because one night, he was abusing my mom. He had like punched a wall, and in the bathroom, and so the hose had connected from the bathroom to my closet. So when I would be in the bathroom, getting dressed, get ready for school, bathing, whatever stuff, he was able to see me and watch me. And so I had told my mom about it, and of course he was like, no, it's not true, it's not true. So he taped the hole up in the wall, and we just kept on, just going on, going on. Did pretty much nobody in his family, had believed me because they felt like, cause he had sisters, so and he had nieces too, so they felt like, well, if he didn't bother my nieces, well, it's not true because he didn't touch my daughters. I said, so but still, but I later on found out that he did eventually mess with one of his brother's daughters. But they still, was in denial about it. So one night I had, my mom was going out with some of her friends, and so my mom had left to go out. Me and his son was there, during like Christmas time, and so he came, at me again and tried to put handcuffs on me, and I was just crying, just fighting him off, and so my mom eventually had came home, and I was standing behind the living room door. I was crying, all hysterical, trying to catch my breath. And she's like, Tracy, what's wrong? What's wrong? What's wrong? And I was like trying to tell her what was wrong. So he had attacked my mom, but some of my family members and some of her friends was there, and so when he attacked my mama, they like had broke it up, whatever and stuff. So my mama grabbed me by my hand, and we just ran out. We just left, and but before that had happened, at nighttime when he would, come to my room and try to bother me, I would run out to my cousin's house in the middle of the night. And one night, when I was running up to one of my cousin's house, this man stopped me, and he was like, because we got in Greensboro, it's a club called Side Effects. It's very popular. And he was like, hey, little girl, you know what Club Side Effects is at? And I was like, no. And I just kept on running. And I kept on running on to my cousin's house. So moving forward to the night where the abuse finally had ended, me and my mom, we just ran up, to my cousin's house, and we just never had looked back. So that's like the first part of my sexual abuse. But the second part is that I dated this guy for 8 years that was accused of sexual abusing one of my daughters. And so at first, when I had found out about it, I was like, oh my God, I'm going to, I'm going to kill him. So, and I was just sitting in my driveway, just numb, like, oh, I cannot believe, this has happened because he was a truck driver, I didn't have to work if I didn't want to. I had my 3 children. None of them was his. I just lived a good life, we just ate good. He just took care of my children. We was just living good. And I was like, so when I had found out about it, I was like, I'm ready to kill him. And so when I sat in my driveway, contemplating on when he come home of me killing him, it's like I saw a vision, a picture. It was like, Tracy, if you kill him, you are not gonna, you're gonna miss out on your children's Christmases and birthday parties. You're just gonna miss out a lot of things regarding your children. It was like different things just flashing at me and stuff. And I was like, Lord, I said, well, what should I do? What should I do? So I called the police and asked them, what should I do about the situation? So when they came to the house, to ask questions and stuff, and next thing I know, it was gonna happen on Saturday. That Monday, social service was knocking on my door, and I was like, well, why is social service coming to my house? I only called the police just to ask them what should I do about the situation I had found out. So social service was investigating. They was coming to my house, popping up. So my boyfriend at the time, he had to leave the house. So they would show up at my house anytime, checking the closet, checking up under the beds, asking my kids, has he been here? My kids would be like, no. And they would go to the schools, talk to them, ask them questions and stuff. And about want to know if my ex, one of my boyfriends still within the home, because if he was, that they was going to take my children from me, because it would have seemed like that I knew that the abuse was going on, and I still allowed him to be in the home. So I had went through all of that, and I had to go to a meeting one morning, and for them to determine if they was going to take my children from me. But once I was at the meeting, they had figured out I was the one that had called the police. I was the one that took the steps to figure out to see what I, should do. So they didn't take my children. Thank God for that. And so and then as the relationship went on, it was just uh, bad. I didn't trust them, and I stayed in relationships. I didn't have any solid, concrete proof because I would ask questions and it'd be like denied. No, 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 it didn't happen. And I still couldn't understand, well, why did this come about if it didn't happen? So I was kind of like just stuck. It's like anybody common sense be like, relationship is done, it's just over with. But when you in a situation where you just like unsure at the time, thinking back, when you are unsure, I just lived in agony, didn't know like what in the world, to do. And so I wouldn't sleep good at night, whenever he would come in town, I was just always just on edge, whatever. I said, I can't live like that. I said, I gotta go ahead, just end this relationship. So I had eventually ended it. But the man that had abused me back in March uh, of this year, I finally had wrote him a letter, and he's in jail now, but he's in jail for multiple other things, nothing concerning me, and his life has been horrible. He's been on drugs. I have seen him been on drugs, look real bad. He walked with a cane. He's sick. His life is just horrible. And when my dad had found out, when I finally had told my dad like a few years ago, because I couldn't hug my dad, and I would tense up when he was trying to hug me, I know my dad wouldn't hurt me, but it was just that wall, that I had up. So when I had finally had told my dad about what happened, he was lit. Like, Tracy, why you ain't tell? Why you tell me? I said, Dad, I said, I'm okay. I'm fine. I mean, I'm all right. I said, I got through it. And I said, so you going to go look for him and do things to him. The Lord has already took care of him. Just look at his life. And he was like, yeah, Tracy, you're right, or whatever. And things like that. So back in March, I had found out that he was in jail, and I had wrote him a letter telling him, I forgive you. And I didn't put my return address and nothing on because I didn't want him trying to be contacting me back or anything like that. And so my purpose, now is that forgive, because I had to forgive him, and I also, had to forgive myself for, me staying in that relationship with my ex. Even though the principle of the matter is that it should have not came up if something didn't happen. Now that I look back on it, but at the time, I wasn't thinking like that at the time. So I, believe in this verse, Mark chapter 11, 25 to 26, that when ye stand praying, forgive, and if you have aught against any, that your Father also which is in heaven may forgive you and your trespasses. But if ye do not forgive, neither will your Father which is in heaven forgive your trespasses. So I felt like that in order for me to be standing here now, today, I had to finally forgive because I would see him at the store and I would just detour and go to another store. I couldn't like face him, didn't want to be around him, just giving him that energy, that he didn't like deserve. So I stand proud now that I'm able to talk and share my story and to help out anyone else that is going through, like if you have dealt with it or if you've been involved with someone that did it to your children. I'm willing to help anyone, to get through it and talk through no judgment zone, because when you're in it, you just don't know what to do, you just stuck, without and stuff. So that's my story, and thank y'all for inviting me. And I survived.
Yeah, yes, you did. Thank you.